Lycanthrope, welcome to Nightbreed. How are you guys?
Yeah,
Good.
good. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Good.
us.
No, thanks for coming on. So, looking at your Bandcamp, your first release was 2012. Is that when you first got together around then?
Yeah, sort of. We sort of formed in 2011. Me and Dan are the only original members from that lineup.
Okay.
We went through a bit of a lineup change 2014, 15?
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, I
2014.
started
2014.
2013.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we started getting some of the new members that make Lycanthrope what it is now. And that's when we released our EP Revival. And from there, we've had the same crew.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. So what prompted you guys to start in the first place, like the first get together and play music?
We've all sort of just been in different bands, and I mean, we've always had a love for music and things. And it's me and Dan, we've known each other since, I was about 6.
Yeah.
We sort of grew up together in that sense, knowing that we both love music. Dan used to be in a band with my brother,
Yeah,
so I knew him from that. And
Aiden used to come to band practices, strangely enough, at the very same place that we're at right this minute.
Mhm.
And I think just gigging with other bands, we found all the other members that really shined out to us, and that's who we wanted to be in Lycanthrope from then onwards.
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
Really sort of cultivated a lot of the good musicians throughout the scene, all coming from bands that we have played with in the past, and just thought, what, that guy would fit in so well in Lycanthrope. So, like Brett, he played in a band with my brother previously. My brother was the vocalist. Brett was the main songwriter for all of their material called Until Darkness Falls. And I thought to myself, like, he reminds me of Aiden so much with how they approach doing songs. So it was definitely like top of the list to get on board as well.
Yeah, cool. What's the go with songwriting with you guys? Like, is it sort of a joint thing, or is there sort of one spearheader writer?
Sort of varies. Pretty well, like every member writes something. We've had the drummer that's done random drum loops and stuff like that, and sent to us and said, see what you can do with that.
Cool.
All of us as the guitarist as well, even the bass player, he writes songs as well, or at least contributes ideas, and the same with us guitarists as well. So a bit different having 3 guitarists in the band. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time, one member might come with what we like to call like the skeleton of the song, and then the other 2 members will write the thirds or octaves, and sort of just meld it all together.
Yeah, cool. How do you go? Some venues must be pretty squeezy having 3 guitarists on stage.
yeah, constant issue, that one, especially because there's a couple of big boys in the band too who are all pretty. Some of them go to the gym way too much, so yeah, definitely makes it a bit hard for all the truck boys in. But yeah, we're all pretty friendly, so
Yeah, no, cool.
bit of friendly cuddling in between songs. Doesn't hurt anyone.
Good.
Got to bounce off big pillows. Look at the barge in between big punching bags. So.
Yeah, we got to the point where we actually had to get our bass player to go to a headless because he kept whacking me in the shoulder every set.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Bass will do that to you.
Yeah. So you guys are based in Newcastle, right?
Scattered. There's a couple in Newcastle, Central Coast, and Sydney.
Okay, sure. So gig-wise, do many of your gigs happen in Newcastle, or are you kind of heading into Sydney and all
Yeah.
that?
Like we mostly formed like Central Coast Newcastle when we first started. Yeah. So that's sort of always been our home base. Members have moved to different locations from there, but Newcastle's definitely like our hometown in that sense.
Yeah, cool. And so recently you guys won the Australian Whack-In Medal Battle. Tell us about the competition before we get into the the main event. How'd the comp go? That must have felt pretty good getting on the top of that one.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty amazing. It was almost surreal when we sort of found out that we won the regional heat to start with, and then
we were playing alongside a lot of bands that we've played with for years on end. So it was kind of like, it's the first time we got to actually be competitive at a show instead of being best mates with everyone. But yeah, it was when we found out that we'd won that regional heat and we were going to the grand final, we're thinking, oh geez, like when we have a shot. And it wasn't until we got announced to us. It was a long time before it got announced out to on social media or to the public. But we got announced to us, and we were just playing that waiting game for so long, just like, when can we announce this? When can we say that we're going to Germany? Like,
Yeah.
for so many people in the music genre, like this is that's like the pinnacle of a lot of people's dream is to even just to go to that festival, but to get to play it was just it's beyond all of our wildest dreams. Something that we definitely would love to do again.
Yeah, no, of course. So what was the you received while over there? Like, do you have a bit of a crowd in that over at Wacken?
We did. The crowd was mental.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was just the few dry days before we played, but we had like dust pits, circle pits.
Oh,
The
yeah.
crowd was really engaging too. Like anytime you put your hands up, they'd throw up the horns. Like they were really willing to sort of get into the music and sort of help us along as well.
Yeah.
At the end of our set, they were chanting Lycanthrope
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
right up until the very next band played, which was like we were there going, this is surreal. We can't believe this. But also to the point where look out into the crowd and as people started arriving, we could see people that were performing at the festival. They were there in the crowd watching, just being spectators. It's like, oh, that's such and such from this band. We pointed out Mumbo Kurt, who plays there every year. He was there like rocking out, getting into it. We're just like, what's going on? Like, but no, it was having them do that, and I think that was probably maybe 4, 5, 6 times the crowd size that we've ever played in front of.
Yeah,
probably the largest crowds that we've played in front of have been in Australia and in Japan. Previous to that, so it was like everything on steroids. Really, it was just pumped up, amped up to the max.
Yeah, sick. That's cool. And did you get a chance to meet or watch any of the other bands after you set?
Yeah, it was sort of like a little artist lounge thing that you got to sort of go back in and met heaps of the bands, met a lot of the other metal battle winners from around the world as well.
Oh, nice.
Made some pretty good connections and friends through that as well. And
Cool.
every now and again you'd see one of the big bands walk through and you're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Corey Taylor for a bit, didn't you? Or?
Yeah, I ran into Corey Taylor. We got another interview taken just before the singer from Soilwork. So Speed from Soilwork was standing there the whole time the guys were getting interviewed. Sort of brushed shoulders with the Butcher Babies as well. Seeing like Slipknot just casually just hanging out, and it's like, should we go over there? And it was intimidating. And then we saw Rose Tattoo. We saw so many bands each day. It was just like, oh, who are we going to see today? I bumped into Tim Lambesis from Azalea Dying. Who else were we? It was actually too many to name, to be honest. Like there was so many like just brief moments where you brushed shoulders with someone, and then it was kind of like at a party where like everyone's sort of talking to each other, and then it's kind of like, oh, hey, you meet them for a second, you have a brief chat, and then you move on, and then you're talking to someone else in another band from another country. Oh, I love metal overseas. It's so good. It's the fucking best thing.
Best culture.
Yeah, best culture.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. So before we get into your new single, what bands are you guys checking out at the moment? What other bands are you into?
Oh,
shit.
There's a plethora of bands. There's so many. Like, personally, I'm loving like Bleed From Within, Fit for an Autopsy. Also bands that I've loved for ages, like Soilwork's new album, Lamb of God's new album, Slipknot's new album. They all resonate with me because you're on that musical journey if you've listened to these bands for years and years and years, and they're still bringing out stuff. And although people might not like it, it might not be what they want to hear at the time. That's what they're releasing. That's what you're getting. That's what you got to listen to. So you suck it up and love it.
Yeah, the boys won't really want me to say what I've been listening to. I'm the black sheep in the pit. I like a lot of different music, but heavy wise, definitely into Buried Alive. And for some reason at the moment, Chris Turner's instrumental album is ridiculous. I've been jamming that way too much.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Nice. All right. The new single from the upcoming EP is out, Built on Glass. What's that one about? What are the themes and things about?
basically about people using a higher profile to be having negative light on people that are actually trying and struggling. And so, you know, we've been pushing for a long time. This band has been going for 10 years. The members we have now, they're all locked in, solid members. Everyone's loving the band, and we keep pushing. We keep pushing. There's always those people that are going to hang shit on you, but at the same time, they're more likely to hang shit on you when there's things not going so great in their own life. So yeah, it's basically just something like that. We could probably cut that bit of make it sound a bit better.
No, it's common. So and the video, you got the white background and the cool silhouette thing and stuff. Who put that together for you? That came out really well.
That was heaps weird. It's a studio called The Egg, and it's the most random room I've ever walked in. It's like you can't see the back. I think they photographed like cars and trucks or something in it. What it's like mainly
magazine shoots or something.
Yeah, and just like walking in the room, like it was, you had no idea where the back of the room was. Like it was the trippiest little room.
Yeah, all of the corners were kind of like half pipe, like skating ramps, and they were all painted white, so everything just reflected off. And if you felt like you're in the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z, can't see anything.
Yeah,
going a bit Super Saiyan.
Yeah, cool. So the EP Hydra's due to be released early 2023. Where are you at with it? Like, is it done, or are you still tweaking things?
No, it's
fully done.
It's good to go. We're just just gonna play the game in a sense and release some songs until we get to that point.
Yeah, cool. So what's the plan? When's the next single?
Well, I guess that we can't really go too much into that. It's a little secret, but it'll definitely be before the EP comes out. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's easy. Cool. And yeah, before we wrap it up, you guys. Sorry, first half of next year. Yeah, gotcha. And before we wrap up, you guys got any shows or anything coming up?
No, we don't really have much booked.
Okay.
Cool.
I think we have to keep everything a bit tight knit at the moment. We have to keep everything. Just for now.
We'd like to answer that question.
Yeah. That's cool. No stress. Well, look, the links are below, so everyone watching this, check them out, and then you'll know what's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right, cheers, fellas. Best of luck, and looking forward to the EP. Have a good one, man.
Awesome.
Too easy. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Yeah.